Many times when we are writing code, we want to recognize what type of value we have. So for instance, when we have, let's say, a variable a is equal to, let's say, Aziz, and we have a variable in our program and we want to see what type of variable that is, we can simply use the type of operator. So type of is an operator, and from our previous video, I told you that an operator is simply a feature of the programming language that does a task. So type of, or the plus symbol, or the minus symbol, or the equals symbol is simply an operator that does something. So the type of operator can be given the a keyword, or the a variable, and if I hit enter, it's gonna say, hey, this thing that you just gave me is a string. I can simply write type of and then provide whatever to it, so blah blah blah, and it automatically recognizes that this thing is a string. So let's see if I give it a number. So I'm going to do type of 1, 2, 3, and it knows it's a number. Let's try the third type, which is the Boolean. So type of, I provided true, and it knows it's a Boolean, and it's going to do the same thing if I give it a false value. I'm going to clear the screen, and now let's try the null. So I'm going to do type of and provide null, and interesting, right? It gave you the object. This is actually an error in the programming language of JavaScript. Now, you need to recognize that JavaScript was made in 10 days, very quickly. So this was an error made by Brendan. So the people who are continuously working on JavaScript and upgrading JavaScript can actually fix the problem, but they choose not to because a lot of the softwares which are built on JavaScript are relying on having the type of null is equal to be object. So if they actually fix this, it's going to break a lot of the other programs. So just for compatibility sakes and backwards compatibility reasons, they are not fixing this bug intentionally. All right, so just recognize that. All right, moving on, undefined. So I'm going to try type of undefined, and yes, this functions as expected. And let's try symbol. So I'm going to do type of and then symbol and provide whatever symbol here. Let's say 1, 2, 3, and yes, it says it's a symbol. Now let's try the object type. I'm going to clear and just do type of object, just an object with no key value pairs, or I can provide whatever a is equal to, let's say 1, 2, 3. Yes, it says it's an object. Let's try giving it a function. So type of, I'm going to just create a function, and I understand we have not looked at functions yet, but just play with me along. So I provided a function and it knows, yes, it's a function. Now let's try an array. And again, I know that we have not looked at array yet. So I'm just going to provide an empty array, which is just a list of values. And it says that it's an object. So actually, the array type, since it's a special kind of object, when you provide type of and give it an array, it actually returns an object versus saying it's an array. And when we get to the array section, I'm going to show you how to actually test if the array is actually an array, not getting the object value. We're going to look at that in a separate video or separate lesson. So that's the only thing I wanted to share with you today, which is the type of operator to recognize what type of value there is in our program, and provided whatever value that we have, it's going to tell you what type it is. Talk to you in the next lesson.